All right, so this unappetizing looking mess, is my attempt at making or recommending some things to you in terms of herbal alchemy or herbalism that you could apply in your life, and how that could also help you in sustaining better health, better physical health, better mental health, better spiritual health. So now this unappetizing looking mess is actually a very, very potent amrit in some ways, a rasayan in some ways. Let me say it's a rasayan. It's an alchemical concoction that works symbiotically. The ingredients work symbiotically with each other to give you the maximum benefits spiritually, psychologically, physically. All right, so the base of this is honey. The base is honey, and that honey I have infused with turmeric and saffron and black pepper and neem. So what I essentially did was I got a lot of the ingredients. I got all the ingredients. I got the turmeric. I got dried. I got fresh turmeric from the market. It looks just like ginger. You can get it in some local market that you have. Go and get some turmeric, right? Get some raw turmeric. Haldi, get some raw haldi, and bring it home and then grate it. All right, don't slice it, grate it, and take the grated part of it, and about I think 1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon should be good enough. 2 teaspoons, something like that, for this size of a jar is good enough. Turmeric is very potent, so don't use it excessively, and it has a heating effect on the body. So obviously, you have to be careful about the ratios with respect to turmeric. And yeah, so you get the turmeric, you grate it, and you leave it out in the sun to dry on a piece of newspaper or something like that. I leave it on glass, I leave it on paper, I leave it on all sorts of different things. That really doesn't matter. Cloth, anything, just because it's going to stain. So remember that it's going to leave the lot of the color would be left behind as residue on whatever it is that you use to keep it on, to dry it. So so that's that. Yeah, dry the turmeric, and once you've dried the turmeric, it'll take a few days, 2-3 days, if the sun is good enough. Sometimes I have managed even in 2 days when the sun is really, really good. And you will know when it's dry, when it becomes solid and it's not pasty anymore, and it breaks in your hand like powder. I can make an entire video on creating this elixir of youth. All right, this elixir of mind body purification. So yeah, that turmeric now is ready. The other thing that you need is neem. Go to a park nearby and isolate a neem tree, and get a good get a branch or something like that. You'll understand this is the size of the jar, so I don't know in terms of grams and all of that, but about a handful of neem leaves, a lot of neem leaves, when held in the hand really, really tight, right, that should be a good amount for this size of a jar. So yeah, take your own estimations for neem. Neem has a very, 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 very strong purification effect on the body. So along with turmeric, it works wonders for you. It has blood purifying qualities. It has a lot of medically researched properties that you can read about. From a spiritual standpoint, from a biospiritual standpoint, let's say, neem helps purify the physical vessel. So it's not used as much for the mind, it's used more for purifying the physical vessel, because it has a very strong impact on detoxing the body. So it's used a lot, especially if you're practicing. Both of these ingredients, actually, haldi and neem, are very good for if you're practicing Hatha Yoga or some sort of bodily function of yoga, wherein you're pushing your body to the limits, something like that. Where you want to, where you're on a detox diet, let's say, where you are on a newfound detox schedule in your life. It's good to incorporate this. It's also very good to incorporate this if you are practicing some physical renunciant sort of practices. For example, I have been practicing somewhat celibacy, and by extension for a while now, retention. And I have been retaining for about a year and 8 months now. Sometimes I find it very surprising as well how I've managed this far. But yes, and this can help with alchemizing with purifying your body, all right? So it'll help with purifying your body if you're practicing some sort of self-purification ritual anyway, as an add-on, let's say. All right, so neem has a lot of properties, a lot of blood purifying properties, and your blood is the physical component of the spirit that is working in and up and down your body, in and out not out your body, but through and through your body. Blood is the physical manifestation of spirit. That's why you see blood and blood being sacrificed to gods, and gods sacrificing their blood for us, and blood having so much spiritual importance. Another topic in itself. These are all individual topics, a lot of them. So neem purifies your blood, all right? Neem purifies your blood. It's good for you. Take some neem, about a handful of it, and break it into pieces. I put them generally fresh in the base because it's honey. So honey is a natural preservative. It doesn't rot away. I've used this. This is like a month or so old, and the neem is relatively still, it's fresh. It's not putrefied or anything. So honey has a purification effect on it. And neem in itself anyway, even if it becomes dry, is very good for a lot of other things. For example, you can keep it in your clothes if you don't want fungus or moth infestations or something like that. Mold infestations, not moth, mold infestations. So neem has a lot of other properties as well that it can be used for. So yes, go and find a neem tree in or near your park and get it. And I can talk about all of these ingredients individually and how what they mean according to Ayurveda and what they mean according to herbal alchemy and all these other subjects that are complementary to each other. None is better or not as good as the other, right? Ayurveda is very, very elaborate. Alchemy is very, very elaborate. They complement each other. They are not opposing to each other, and it's not a game it's not a competition that you have to compare whether one system works or the other works. Whatever works. Just take what is useful from whatever works. That's predominantly always been my philosophy. It's a very chaos, magic sort of philosophy, but take the good from things and discard the waste. Right? Not every spiritual teacher is going to stand up to your expectations. Not every celebrity is going to stand up to your expectations. Not all parents are going to stand up to your expectations. Not all lovers are going to stand up to your expectations. Not all friends are going to stand up to your expectations. And vice versa. Right? So, so take the good things from everyone, or take the good teachings from everything, and the good teachings are just intuitively deciphered. There is no Maslow की psychology पढ़नी पड़ेगी या Jungian पढ़ना पड़ेगा मेरे को archetypes का, or whether I have to read Das Peg Zarathustra. I have not read most of these books, to be very honest. I speak predominantly from experience, and somehow that experience correlates with all the other things that these people have been talking about. Another topic. So yes, there is turmeric and there is neem. Now we need black pepper. I think about a teaspoon of black pepper. 2 teaspoons of black pepper is also fine. Around the same ratio as the haldi that you're using. By the way, haldi can only be utilized in the body if it's if the curcumin, I think, is extracted from it and made bioactive in the body through piperine. That's the chemical compound, I think, which is found in black pepper. So haldi ka doodh you can drink as much as you want, but if there is no black pepper that is going along with it, it is not going to impact your body. It is not going to help. It's not going to bind to your body. The same way people take ashwagandha their entire life, but they see no effects because it's a fat-soluble molecule, and you have to take it with something fatty so that it binds. Instead of taking it, just taking a capsule and gulping down with a glass of water. And Ayurveda speaks extensively about the base being very important, what the healing element is binding to. So anyway, you take black pepper And I took a very a good amount of saffron, which has. Oh, by the way, pepper is another very high pranic food. Let's say these are all very high pranic foods. That's the best way to describe them. They have a lot of energy. These are very high energetic foods, and when they combine together, they make a rasayan, an amrit of sorts. A concoction that really helps and keeps you fit and fine in the body and in the mind. All right. Now, there are many herbs for spiritual growth also, which we can go into some other time. But for now, I think this is good for everyone to detoxify their body. If you're following some detox ritual already, some sort of self mastery, then this will help you. All right. And yes, you take honey, you take about half a jar of this honey or an entire jar of this honey, whatever works for you. And you put all the dried substances and the fresh neem, just break it up into pieces, chop it into small bits, and just mix it all together and shake it. There is no, the 100 degrees, 20 degrees, all of that is, and shake it 20 times or 30 times, whatever, when it feels like, all right, it's a good consistency for me to take a spoonful and very easily make it wash down my throat. So, it's totally dependent on your taste buds also. I age it though. Unlike the things, I age this in the sunlight, and that's one of the reasons why I keep it in glass jars. I age this for about 14 days in the sunlight. Like once I had mixed the pepper, the neem, the honey, and the haldi, once I had mixed it all together, then I kept it in direct sunlight, where it received like I think 4 to 8 hours of sunlight, depending on how harsh the sun is. So it's gotten quite a good amount of sunlight, and it has been baking or aging in the sunlight. And sunlight also has benefits. Sunlight is, plants eat sunlight, by the way, right? Plants eat sunlight. We also eat sunlight. Our skin eats sunlight and literally metabolizes light. Our body metabolizes light. You really got to sit down and think about what I just said. We take this for granted. We eat food and we think, all right, the food is now metabolizing in my stomach. It's all very good and fine, but your body also metabolizes light. Right? And we are so egotistical sometimes. We think that whatever happens on the sun is not reflected below. Whatever happens above is not reflected below. The kind of solar flares and things like that. The energy that is being bombarded by the sun, that's rapidly evolving life on Earth, that's rapidly changing the consciousness of life on Earth. Very good for you to get vitamin D, by the way. That's all that it is good for. All of that, what I've just said, is nonsense. Just go and get your vitamin D and keep this in the sun and bake it for a little while. And once you've baked it for a little while, once the solar energy has been infused in the recipe, right, with an intention, obviously, when you're making all of this, when you're gathering the ingredients, all of that, have an intention in mind that this is for your physical renewal. It's for your physical it's for your physical renewal. It's for your physical detoxification. It is for your physical detoxification, which, because as above, so below, as within, so without, once you fix the physical part, it will automatically bleed to the mental part of your experience, and it is going to purify your thoughts, which by extension will also help in purifying the spirit. So you have the concoction here that now you can use once you've made it. It is very good for you. It is very good for your body. It is very good for transmuting the lesser energies of the body into higher energies of the body, the physical body. All right. Yes, these things have spiritual benefits also. Many, many, many of them that we can go into some other time. For now, this is good for your physical body. It will help detoxify your physical body. It will help keep you fit and fine. And the ratios that I've mentioned are purely intuitive. You can use your own ratios, whatever work for you. Your body will tell you, your mind will tell you. You have to learn to believe it. You have to learn to trust it. Because what works for me from trial and error, from experience, not from reading recipes about it, but from trial and error. I took it, I used it, I tried all the different combinations, and then I figured out what works for me best. Or I intuitively just know what works for me best. So Go out and try this recipe a few times. If not a few times, you'll figure out the first time in itself, as long as you just trust yourself and you understand the ratios that you need. Itna kha lu to utna na ho jaye, utna kha lu to utna na ho jaye. Stop thinking about all of that. The filth that people put inside their body on a daily basis is far much worse than some overestimation on your part about the ingredients and their ratios. So relax and make this little concoction, and I hope it'll help you, because it definitely does help me. The saffron will open your heart and make you feel all lovey-dovey, because it is considered an aphrodisiac, but it's also very good for your anhat chakra. And the neem and the turmeric will purify the lesser aspects of your being. They are also purifying, they also have a very high purative effect on the higher aspects of the mind. Everything works in correspondence with something else. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little thing about herbs, and yeah, let me know how you like it.